Well, their effectiveness increases against the more they fight, the more they gain in efficiency, the more effective they are. In the future, according to another, because in return they lose efficiency. When it comes to collecting resources, but well, in the end, what matters is that they are effective in the fight and at the beginning, in the collection of resources well, and then these elite forces that I am taking out now, I have already said before that they are called Italic heavy infantry. Okay, this they only know how to fight, do not try them to build what they collect, nothing, because they're not going to do it, they will not, they're going to do, they are specialized only in fighting. And they're going to see a lot of things, no, music. Well, I repeat that they attack me like this with so little intensity because I have made the difficulty very easy. If it were intermediate, I could not do this. That I am doing, that is to say, explaining the details and being in the building, collected and fighting and all that, very well, I needed to talk about it. The horse stable, okay, something very similar to the barracks is happening here. Look, there are 3 types of cavalry, the Roman head, the cavalry, allied and in grey in this case the consular bodyguards, this let's say are the elite cavalry that is not yet activated because I have to click here to unlock cavalry. From him to the other attack, very well, I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to also generate the horse breeding, horse racing and forced recruitment, let's say they are the improvements of the cavalry stable. There I have everyone at my door right now, the house and all, because here I think I have some. Let's see how much all these good ones are inactive, including the ones in the front. I'm going to put them all here, it's worth remembering right away, and then tell them what they want me to do, even if it's where you want you to go. Let's go. For those who enter from the top. Well, now when I can get the horses out. Music. All those who come back here, it's because they have a defensive attitude. We stay there where they have finished the task, and I don't know if I have taken out, no, in the end I have not taken out the mustache throwers. What they do is throw some kind of bombs with fire at a certain distance, and well, sometimes they're useful. For example, if a wall is besieging or things like that, I don't usually use it. But again, my God, they won't let me. And they go by themselves. They already know how things are going. This look has already unlocked the consular bodyguard exit. This is the head of the internet. And you will wonder why it doesn't take out the others. The truth is that I don't like it. I prefer to wait for this type of cavalry to come out because it is much more effective. I think the first type is the same as the rider who initially comes out to say that it is only good for what it is good for. That is to say, to explore the territory or to taste a little more, because they immediately fall into the fight very well, because I am going to take out several horses, and as I told you before, in batches. Okay, look at this moment. I'm going to take days and I'm going to tell them to come here. It's the control key, and we press the right mouse button and we tell it where I want it to come out. I think we already seen almost all the buildings, well, the buildings that we would need in a normal situation. Music. I am going to tell everyone that defensive attitude, and so when there's danger, they act. Music. Well, I'm not very I am not in favor of removing the rest, and that they all come together in a defensive attitude so that they do not escape from me, because they are capable of going into enemy territory to fight on their own, and I do not like that. I like to control, to measure the situation. Well, what we tell you, I was commenting how defensive weapons like defensive buildings, I usually use the fortress. Well, the fortress also has an interesting security arch around it, alert, and the soldiers can also take refuge here if there is danger. For example, the stone towers that I have here 5, and well, for example, I would need to talk about the wooden palisades as, let's say, to arm the defensive building, or like these walls and what you see here. This would be a siege, and these would be the stone walls. Well, the walls of the wooden palisades, I don't use them. I didn't use them because I see them much weaker. I use above all the stone walls. On it's good. In fact, there is a faction that is the Iberians that many times when the game starts they already come with their surrounding wall, let's say the initial agora. Let's see, very well, let's say then let's see what we could wall off, for the truth is that the water is not going to be, as an example, not in case you are interested, I am going to take these individuals that are here, in this case 4, and I'm going to tell them to build me a bit of a wall. Well, you can wall the whole city, but it happens that in this case I have a forest here that would prevent me from doing it. Music. Normally worrying is okay. Well, with these 4 I'm going to build a little wall just to see how it is done. It starts with a tower, and I have not pressed the left button yet, and I press it and rotate it. I rotate it, and then sorry, I did it wrong. I'm not going to destroy, by the way. How do you destroy something? Personal units or buildings? Well, it's very easy to select the law and press the delete key, and then you say yes, and it has been destroyed. And the tower is just the same. Well, I already have a little piece. I'm going to destroy it now. I'm going to start again. Press here, wall. I press here in this position. That is going to be the initial one for the tower, and then I dragged. And as you can see, some modules of consecutive towers and pieces of wall, Alex, are being formed. In this case I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loose, and that's it. I have the wall there, about to be built, to see if there are people who are all these are inactive, so they all come here. 2. Music. Well, now, well, this could ask us if the detours and surrounded the entire city with a wall, how to get in and how to get out. Well, you have to create the right forces, of course. Now you will see how it is done too. Speed up a little more this. I am going to take some from here to help. Look here, I have my cavalry. You see here I have it. These 10 are also Very good fighting is very good now, but they are the companions. Well, I don't know if I need to get more. I'm always going to get more horses, more elite forces. In this case, Capital Impulse won't let me because I don't have enough resources. In this case, it would be the Metal Good Os. I'm going to get what I can, and from here, yes, 15, 15. Correct. Well, here you have a piece of wall alert. Now you want good, and if you want to continue with the wall form of power too. A few of here, and I'm going to take them to continue the wall for this area here. I have already told you that it is not worth it to build the wall completely because I do not need it, but if I had to do it, it would be like this. I press here on the wall, I come to the east tower here, and when I am placed on it, look now at this moment, I click and then I drag to see if it lets me. And I drag when I am satisfied with the position, I let go and it starts to build. To see how the theme is here, well, nothing happens. Perfect. Well, I already have a here piece of wall built. I'm going to continue there. I want a door in this position. I click on that piece of wall and fix. I saw that an icon appears here that says promote to door allows unit access through the wall can be blocked to prevent access, and it costs 20 units of wood and 12. So it is not served in 12 seconds per floor. Immediately you will see the door here. So how does that door work? How does it work? Well, in principle it is closed. And you already have it there. Let's see if we can put the detailed forms in. At first it is closed, but if any of my units, whether it is a person or a battering ram, for example, wants to pass, it automatically opens and then closes again, as I don't know how we read a moment ago. It can be blocked. Let's imagine that there is a danger that the enemies come in there because they can be copied, and this other one would be to unlock that moment. It's unlocked. Looking to meet a woman. I'm going to tell her to come here and see what happens. Music does not automatically contribute. Music opens. And then okay, well, now I'm going to tell him to go back to work where he was before. I click with the right button in the orchard, the door opens again. This woman goes through and then goes back to do it. I seem good. You can build more turns, of course. For example, here we could build another gate. Music. Well, whatever it takes. I insist that the whole city could be walled off. See what happens. Oh well, here we have, as I mentioned before, forward Marcus Claudius Marcellos, and if you realize here appears the line D, the line that tells us if he is healthy or not. The truth is that I don't know if this line corresponds to him with the hero or with the whole faction, that is to say, with everything, with all the people that I have created. Because we are going to see if I click on it now, and I come here and locate it, this hero, to see if it is going to be complicated, because I think it's in here. And the truth is that it doesn't taste good. I am going to take it out. I'm going to take it out of there to see what situation it is in. It can't be good now. Let's look here. It has the health bar and it has a little bit of red because he knows that he has been fighting and he is less good. I don't know if he had commented on it. It is interesting to take a priest out of the temple and place him among the troops, because that is how he heals everyone around him. Music, the hero, as you can see, is very the network. And if you're not careful, it's easy to lose him, because he's up against anyone. Normally it's convenient for him to be accompanied for several reasons. Here we have the beige priest. See if you're here, we put him there with the troops and he alone. He'll heal everyone wounded that the king has. And there are more things about the walls. That's it. He was telling us that the entire enclosure could be walled up. UCA. And I don't remember well. One more thing, it turns out that this map is more true. Well, first of all, merchants. Well, here we are going to see what can be done normally. Here I have something that all these savings have gone from me. I have said before, and there is units that are very aggressive, and I have gone to the other side. Why don't you attack? Because I don't want the particle to end the game there, otherwise it would have been a long time since they would have attacked and they would have destroyed the enemy normally. With this difficulty that I have given them, it is very easy to win. I am going to say for the moment that they have a defensive attitude so that they do not go to the other side, and now I am going to take a few of these who are workers, please. Let's see, for example, these 57 lances internally. Before, they have talked about the swordsmen, and I have told you about the money bore, but they did not bend the steel because they had not yet come out. Bring it back here, music. Now see that the one who goes with them to make the fight like barbar, like they always come in handy, very few people come, and therefore it's very easy to get rid of them. Now when I'm in the meantime, I'm going to ask them today, I'm going to get more people out of the barracks. I still don't have any metal. Look, here's a sheet of metal. Well, now inside. Now I will take advantage of the stop to get more metal to see the issue of the formations. You see, at this moment this is in turtle mode, but the lances that is to that formation is not the most appropriate to honor. One would be the appropriate one, by the way, as I connected you, is each one is there with his spear. Do you think that this would be the most appropriate one? Because I think we are not going to see this other one. Well, it is not there either, and it is. Imagine, for example, now later we will see the rest. Imagine, for example, that you are the enemy cavalry and you face these payments. Okay, imagine that I know how to aim with the spear, and I repeat, you are riders mounted on horses, therefore poor horse. No, because surely they're going to have a very bad time with those spears. Let's see another formation. Music. I don't like this one for spearmen either, and it's good. This is similar to the one before. They are not more or less in line after. This other one I don't like. This other one. Well, similar also the one from before. We have already seen it, and the anti-cavalry one. I think this is the one that touches anti-cavalry. You see how it is placed? Well, they're just upside down to turn it over. We are going to turn the right click, and they move. You see, here we have it perfectly. Take a look at the selection and look at how they are formed. Okay, imagine that the cavalry came through this area of agreement, and they have to face all these lances, or they would have a more secure time. They would have a bad time on all the Horses. Well, since I have them here, I am going to have them build a dock here on the coast. And let's see what can be. Done with it. Now we have the framework, we are going to show it. Music. If the little skirmishes come here, good to go back towards that lower area. Music. In Talavera burn metal. Well, listen. I'm going to cook a few soldiers, for example these at 14, and have them go. Pick up metal that I have very few. Remember that it is convenient that all this is balanced well. I have not told you about the trade. And you have forgotten very well how you can trade the sky, what the markets are for. Music, obviously to exchange. Products to see where I have it. I have it here behind, as it had been. Commented, far away, okay, then you can get. Merchants at this moment, I still can't because I don't have enough metal. But what I can do is look at this area here, okay, it's exchanging and how it works. Look at this. If you click above to sell a type of resource, and if you click below to buy, in this case the selling food item is activated, and it works as follows. You exchange or sell 10 units of food and you can currently acquire 82 pieces of wood, 82 of stone, or 82 of metal to read Sarai. Lack metal. Well, then seeing sorry, I sell wood and buy metal. Okay, food concert. Now I have a lot. I'm going to sell food and I'm going to get perfect metal. 3 I already have to like this. 2000 units of metal is worth it. It's already clicked in any area that has nothing, and when it's small, that another possibility if you don't know where the market is to come here to the right. Up here there is an icon that says trade and exchange. Click on it and we have something similar, but there is a novelty. Look at this. When there are trade routes, now later I will show you some when I can. Okay, so there are some priorities regarding the exchange of resources. In this case, it is at 25% each one. This would correspond to the food, this to the metal, sorry, to wood, to stone and metal. But if I click here, which is the resource that I have the most difficulty getting, then I have to do it by pressing the capital key. Click there by pressing the capital key. Then metal exchange is prioritized. Yes, I have problems with all of them. Instead of with one, well then I can click here and it's spread out, you see. Now I would have 20% priority for stone exchange and 80% for metal exchange. Okay, let's see if I can get the good trader for getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to get 5 for the moment. And why do I do that? Because it is going to exchange. The exchange occurs between own markets or careful allies. That is, yours are allies, but it can also be exchanged with the ports or with the unforgiveness here. We have a market that you have seen, and here you have a dock. Well then, as selected techos, we are going to select solved because they have not yet come out. Music. I am going to see how they go to the front, that I do not trust it. Does not take long. There is activity. There are a few payments that come in through here. Well, let's see how the output goes. It won't let me, and why it won't let me? Well, because it has already reached the limit of the population. I already have 300. Well, what can I do? I increase the population you can do to all these who are here without doing anything, and I'm going to build the marvel is the building that allows me to get 60 more units of people. Because what happens is that it will take very long. And while we wait, what can we do with the dock apart from trading? Well, by the way, you can't get merchants from here, you have to do it from the market now if you can get here and establish trade routes. Well, this is also like a resource store, among other things. So yes, I take these soldiers and I tell them to pick up this metal for me, that there is where they will go to deposit it. Well, the closest thing they have as a warehouse, which is the dock. Okay, now they come here. Well, more things can be taken from here. Well, boats, fishing boats to hunt, to fish for the fish that may be in this piece of sea. Merchants can also be traded, let's say, with these ships between taking your chances, or as I said before, allies. Okay. In this case, that's not going to be possible because I only have a dock then. No trade route can be established with merchant ships. Well, and after here we have three possible, let's say, warships. This is the smallest light warship, the Roman Trireme and the Roman Rene Elkan. This is the largest. Well, I'm going to take a small one so you can see how it works. And then I'll add a merchant just in case, and also a fishing boat, and then here are a series of improvements such as a fishing net appears in the naval architecture, in the hulls of ships cut out, and the experimental crews still cannot leave because I have already told you that I have reached the limit of the population. It is already built. It is already built. The wonder is like an even bigger temple, and the only possibility it has is if you click on the S. This it's called glorious expansion. Okay then, since it's already activated, look carefully that it's already lit by Spike, and in a while, and attend to the possibility of releasing 60 more units. So we'll have to wait. Let's put it all together again. Music. And now, in a little while, I'm going to proceed to attack the enemy. That's all right. I think I've already discussed almost everything, and well, here's something else. Sorry, here's something else. I'm going to take those who are inactive, and I'm going to build a military camp so that it serves to expand, among other things. Its territory is not as powerful as the civic center, but it is quite interesting. Neutral ground has to be built. For example, my line from my line of influence reaches here. You don't see it here. You have the Tor line, so I can take it and tell him to build me a military camp, and you'll see what the chances are. This is neutral ground. By the way, the dock can also be built on neutral ground. There's no problem. I really like that the dinners where it happens is that there are always no strips of water to be able to build that passes through here. Well, it is normal that I chose the very easy difficulty because that way you give me a quota. They manage very well by themselves. Let's see how long it takes them to get this out. And since we're here, there's another building called the temple. It should be there. Let's say it's quite similar to the temple we've seen before, but it's also useful for training healers and developing technology from that nation. Well, I'm going to put it here. But still it can't be done because it can't be placed on land that isn't proper. That's it. And I'm going to put it inside my territory right there. I've already told you that it's similar to the music thing. Guys, I was saying about the temple. It also serves to heal. Let's say it seems very good now. Here we have it. You see, we have already passed. We have already achieved the glorious expansion, and our population limit has gone from 300 to 360, and it is already increasing. The population is increasing. Bet, it is 302. It looks good. That you can fight because he has reduced me to 1. What is happening here? And ringing well, I have already told you that this is a Parker merchant ship is good for trading clearly between surrendering, and this is a warship. I think it was the light ship. Good war apart from fighting against other enemy ships with, and here is the fishing boat now after placing this. See what can be done with it well apart from battling with other ships and with enemy buildings that are on the coast. Well, then we can do the following. We can say, let's see these soldiers here go back to Vice. You are going to get on the ship, Ale, you are going to get on the ship, sir. I have done it. As follows, I have selected the people I want to get on the ship, and then pressing the key control, click on the ship control and press with the right button the ship, and then as you can see they have disappeared. That seems to law that. Seems if I click on the ship here, it appears that there are 13 units. Inside these 13 that were working here in the metal, now they're there. And what can that do for me to look at? For example, I could say with more than here, there is no possibility. There is no strip of water that allows me to go from one area to the other. So if we are here, I can't tell you come to this area from here to this area. The ship will approach here. And when I know when it reaches the coast here, there are some icons, and one of them, the first one, says to evict everyone. Well, not to the cliff. Come here, okay, and when they arrive, press this button, and what happens then? The 13 little soldiers that I had inside the boat, well, land, okay, and now, well, for example, I can say we are going to build here 11. What was it called? And we set up a military camp, a fort, okay, and I had to put it in a neutral zone. This here is still a neutral zone. I think it is here is the zone of influence of the opponents. Well, all this here, it's a neutral zone. That's why he left me. I think you see a end build in enemy territory. Very well. And that way, you can move forward. And it S. Okay, this is what I've done here. No, it's not worth it, because the best thing to do is to use these steps that are in the mountain range. Okay, little by little. My strength is diminishing. Since I'm not up to it, whatever happens. Let's go around more and then we'll get started. I'm going to activate this click on a barracks, select the 3 and then I say come on. The bed units. Of those 3 barracks, and you're going to send it to me, for example here. Like back. Well, I think it's alright, okay for today I'm going to group all the forces. And before starting the attack on the enemy position. Very well, before starting here with the enemy position, I am going to tell you something else that may interest you. I have told you before that if you want to know this, which units are not working, you had to press the Alt and period keys. Very good. There is another one that I also use a lot, especially at the end when I am already in the heat of the battle, of the final battle. And it is the following one. I am going to separate them for a moment so that you can see it when around here some and others come out here. He separated them so we can see what happens. How it and it looks. Very good. Which option I mean, because I think it's called which is it and the dash. Where is the dash? The minus that is to the right of the point. Alex, look. I am going to do the following impulse, and after continuing in the instrument, and what happens? Look here, I have. Look carefully, I have been selected. All these people are only soldiers or weapons of war, the units that allow us to fight do not work. Them say here they are not contemplated by, therefore women is then I have 14 cavalry units, 34 of spallation is special is a hero, 24 left money, 77 swordsmen, 47 lancers, and the 3 battering rams be 100 if there were camels also, if there were, for example, in the Carthaginians. L parts 1 would also include those who are not doing anything, that is to say, they are not fighting accordingly, so once they are selected, I can move them wherever I want. And by the way, there is something else that may also interest us very much. Well, I am going to repeat this, because it's very interesting. It's art and the script, and I usually use it at the end, when I'm about to deliver something, the final blow in the final battle, when I go to enemy territory. What do I mean? About the possibility of creating groups. Music. To create, I am not going to say a group. And everything else is formed in the same way. There is the possibility of forming up to 10 groups, and they are created in the following way. For example, I have a very wide selection here. Well, I am going to welcome them all, and I tell you these are going to form group 1, and how to do it. Simply by pressing Ctrl 11. Ctrl 1. And look carefully that here the icon of the group that contemplates all these people that are here, including the battering rams. Okay, can also be done other groups. For example, I say I want a group with, specifically, with the heavy infantry. Since these people were selected in those 33, you are going to be part of group number 2 and so on. For example, I can tell you the battering rams, I want you to be part of group 3 and so up to 10. Possible including 00 up to 9. Okay, and this is very convenient because now I say look, I take group 1 and I simply have to hit number 3. As you can see here, I select the battering rams that are the ones that I had put in that group, and now I tell him you are going to come to me, for example, to this position, and only those who are part of that group will come. That easy. Percent here I see that the Birot launcher, you see this one here, launches mustaches. Okay, we have already told you that I don't usually use it much unless I have to do a series, for example, to a walled city in special things. Be careful that they can destroy less. Well, now I take all of group 1. All of group 1, including the battering rams, and I go to war. And I am going to say start loading, for example this tower was selected with the selection of the forces done, clicked with the right button on the building that I want to attack or on the enemy units and what to attack, and here see all my troops. It's as you can see, there are so many who have difficulties to go through that. Remember that the battering rams move very slowly, and the fastest ones, you know, it's the cavalry. Look, they've already achieved it. B. Careful, because it is very easy for the leg, especially if it is inside the area of influence of the enemy, to go back for any. Very easy, because I have activated the defensive attitude. I am going to change it, and I am going to put it in reserve, by the way. This here now does not give me the opportunity I could build here, for example, a civic center, and thus I am expanding my territory. Well, what is happening here, because they push me back and again. Aggressive, please now turn to aggressiveness. Look how they are capturing the beige towers, and this call already belongs to me, this also. No. 2. If it does nothing. Good audio. Now is when I use that option the most that has been implemented before. Holding the key down when giving someone a title, because any door you have out there that is not fighting the I can recover birth and bring it here. There are other possibilities, but I think this is very interesting to look at the way my teeth are making me. Look, now you are going to form a thing. I can go capturing the buildings one by one. Now we are going for those. Or I can go directly for the civic center if I have enough strength. But there is a risk, and that is that if this civic center or any good building has captured almost all the videos that are in its environment in its area of. Good building has captured almost all the videos that are in its environment in its area of. Influence will go instead of self-destructing immediately. I prefer to capture it. Already passed with these. Look, this is in neutral territory, since I have neglected it. Mother Nature has taken it away. It's like it has a white box around it, which means that now it doesn't belong to me or the enemy. Had also captured the enemy unintentionally. The enemy has already passed because it was within the area of influence, and it is feasible I am going to recapture. By the way, I would like to want to create the civic center to expand the territory. Let's say I need more metal. Let's go to get a little more limited. To the I think it's good. Well, let's go now. We can. Music. We can't build a civic center. We are going to put it here. That way you will see how it expanded my territory a lot. that I am not fighting come here all together. As you can see, I have lost some units, although I have advanced a lot. What I am going to do is get more orchards and more cavalry if possible. And I am not going to tell you where they are going to come out, where it was planned before, but with the combination of keys to the script I can do it. Bring quickly to the city. Look closely at how my territory has advanced. Now we are going to finish because a lot of information. Well, a moment is missing. What? May interest us a lot. He had commented on it. Here we have the market, right? He had said that he will take out 5 merchants. He selected them, and I will tell you he is going to bring to trade where the only one I have now is the dock, or the dock is here, and look carefully that when he placed me he placed the mouse there. It appears to me because as a kind of coin it is not worth. I am going to click on the dock, and then all these merchants are going to come here. But the commercial route will not yet have been established there. Is a second phase to see is when they arrive clearly until it is not possible. Well, since I am here we have what I just told you a while ago. Moment, the box that is here around the military camp. Now the target that passes has been left. Gala, because he has neglected it and was in neutral territory, should be conquered again if he wanted to. Here I have the merchants' laws that come with their little horses and with their cars and full of merchandise. Well, once they arrive here I will tell them where they have to return, and in this way I will have established the commercial route. And I repeat to you, the sooner you travel the better you will have to do, because that way our economy will increase more. To the selection or to these 5 merchants, and I am going to take them back to the market, and thus they would have definitively established the route. Now I will go from one place to another without stopping until he left another mystical order. Very well, then we are going to finish the job. That's fine. Okay, well, I'll come with all the troops here too. The hero. I've already been in the battle zone for 1 hour and 39 minutes. It's explained. They do and have it because it's enough. The world is already ending. And now it's a matter of my Troop X capturing the few buildings that remain. All of this is already mine. I am also going to leave the technical center for last, because if they captured it now, most of these buildings they are here. I discarded, they will destroy themselves. I don't want that. I want to keep them. I have another little by little. I can't get them. They are destroying me. And here they have gotten me a menti, but now I could take the merchants and bring them here and establish another commercial route, for example. I can take out 5 more merchants and establish another trade route. Very well. Now that you have left for this here, I don't know what a resource store is. By the way, I am going to activate the improvements that are The iron axe head, servant's wedge of the mallet and the baskets. And I have everything activated in the market, there is no problem. Today, the lady has already recovered the little market. Do not neglect it and immediately return to the enemy because it is within their area of influence. It is okay if you have captured a building within enemy territory and give it away. You pay attention, okay then. With time you will lose it and it will return to the enemy solution. Well, you can place it inside. In some cases it can be placed, it can be people the same as we have seen with the boat, with control and clicking. On that building it is also clear that soldiers can be placed inside a building and examined, and that way it protects it. We have achieved the center of Vigo from chaos. The box that follows is blue. Well, we have already acted. The game tells me that we have already won. We have already liquidated all the enemy troops, including all the buildings, and anything goes and everything is ours if we had had the map, as I told you at the beginning, music. So, what has not been explored, or it's not yours, it's in black, so now it would automatically become visible. Well, now it just came out here. It's not in Lanzarote. I haven't used it, and although I'm alive, I've already told you that it usually throws balls like fire where you dedicate them, and they're usually useful for the siege. Very well, because here you have everything. We are going to concentrate the troops here. Or here. Music, and with this I think that it is already good. I have already informed you of everything that I know well, or it can be said that I do not. I have read, no touch, no manual, and therefore everything I know from the experience of the warfare. That means that I can be wrong about something, but well, it is more or less working for me. That is, I will not be so wrong. Very well, that is all guys. The next hurdle will be a normal battle. Okay, have a good time. Well, before finishing completely, let me come out and see what score they have given us is. Here you have the economic score. But our military score 7,475. And the of the sleeping enemy 59, but since it was in one with such a low difficulty, of course, it was far exceeded, and in terms of the economic score, the same as here. You would have a total score, and this would be the score for very exploration. That, since we have not explored anything, well, it hasn't moved. If the two continue the same, nothing. That's all guys, until next time, see you later.